We've all been there. You're with a new guy and you find out that he's had a bad breakup recently. What's worse, he's still hung up on his ex. Yikes. All the best guys will have high quality women in their past, but when the ghosts of girlfriends past are still haunting your relationship, you need to take action. Hi, I'm Amy North, a relationship expert from Vancouver, and I specialize in helping women date the man they want and deserve. And sometimes that means helping them win guys over who haven't moved past their previous relationships. These are the two possible scenarios when guys aren't over their ex. 1. He still has feelings for her. They have unfinished business, or they broke up in a way that left things feeling open-ended. For whatever reason, he still holds out hope that it's not over. At least there's some part of him that is still in love with her. 2. He's had a bad experience that made him question whether or not he wants a relationship at all. The good news is he probably wouldn't touch his ex with a 10-foot pole, but the resulting intimacy issues can be a bigger problem in your relationship moving forward. First, how do you know he's not over his ex? 1. He talks to her. If he's still in regular contact with his ex, he still calls her on the phone, texts her, comments on her social media, likes all her posts, helps her move, then this is a big red flag. Unless things are ancient history, this is a sign that things are not quite finished between the two of them. 2. He talks about her. People from our past are part of our story, and there's no reason to hide that. But if all of his stories begin and end with his ex, then she's still on his mind. Even if it seems like he has a good reason to be talking about her, the real truth is that he can't help it because he can't stop thinking about her. 3. He keeps comparing you to her. Comparing you to his ex or any other woman, even if the comparison is favorable, is a bad behavior that speaks to the character in more ways than one. We all do it on occasion, it's human nature, but the fact that he feels it's acceptable to show a lack of respect for you and the woman in his past, you wouldn't want to be talking about you with other girls, right? 4. They have unfinished business. Did one of them cheat? Did they have a terrible breakup? Is there stuff still hanging around at his house? Whatever loose ends are still holding the two of them together, this continued connection is often a sign of continued feelings. 5. He hates her. Love and hate are really two sides of the same coin. You may think that him being angry at his ex is a great sign for the two of you, but the fact may mean that he still has feelings. Think of your exes that you have no interest in being with again. You don't hate them. You probably could have a cup of coffee together and feel nothing in particular. This is because you don't feel anything for them anymore. 6. He had a recent breakup. The more recent their breakup was, the more likely he's not over his ex, even if he's not aware of it. In this case, it's understandable. Avoid spending every waking moment together and fulfilling his every sexual fantasy if you don't want to fall into the role of the rebound girl. Take things slow and build something real, or you may find yourself becoming his latest ex. 7. He's told you he's not over her. This one is super important. If he's open about not being over his ex, it can mean a few different things. Obviously, he could be being honest, but some guys will use a recent breakup as an excuse to be disrespectful, non-committal, and otherwise shady. And in the long run, whether they're doing it out of the true heartbreak or just using it as an excuse, if they aren't able or willing to treat you right, then you shouldn't stick around. I know that it's hard, but in the long run, this will show them that you have self-worth and that you won't be a consolation prize. The right kind of guy will respect that and rise to the occasion. If you've run into the guy who's having trouble committing, I recommend that you check out CoachNorth.com. There you'll find a free video presentation on my devotion system. It's a comprehensive program I've put together that explains in simple language what you can do, say, and provide to any man to make him settle down with you for good. What do you have to lose? So, how can you make him forget about her and commit to you? Getting over his ex is his journey, but there are some important things that you need to do and others you need to avoid to get the results you want. A man who puts you first and thinks about you, not his ex. First, remember that time heals all wounds. It's a cliche for a reason. The biggest thing that will help him get over his ex is time. What he does with that time is up to him. The important thing is that you remain a constant positive in his life. Second, never bring up his ex. You don't want to be a part of the problem, so keep her name out of your mouth. It will just make you look insecure or like you're trying too hard to be cool about it. There's really no good that can come of that. Next, learn from their mistakes. Obviously, don't break the second rule by asking about what went wrong, but if he freely offers information about why they broke up, listen carefully. This information can be very valuable moving forward. Don't try to compete with her. If you start competing with her, you've already lost. All you're doing is making her a part of your relationship. You're giving her power, and that's not helpful. He's with you, not her. Remember that. Don't be his therapist. It may seem like you can help him by being a shoulder to cry on and letting him vent about his ex to get it out of his system. In reality, this is doing damage by allowing her to dominate your time together. You don't want him to associate you with her anyways. With that in mind, make sure he knows that bringing her up all the time isn't okay with you, and that if he's unfinished business with her, then he should talk to his friends or a therapist about it. Give him space. One of the things that makes a guy pine for his ex is that she's unattainable. This is a powerful psychological motivator for certain guys. But you can use the trigger to your advantages too. Don't ignore his messages for days, but do spend time apart and make him work to see you from time to time by having plans and other things in your life to keep you busy. Just a little bit of chasing might be what he's missing. Establish boundaries. Don't nag, pout, or yell, but make it clear to him that you're not interested in talking about his ex. And if he still has a close relationship with his ex, it's okay to express that your concerns and tell him that it upsets you. Sometimes this is a wake-up call guys need to realize that their relationship with their ex isn't healthy or fair to you. When all else fails, walk away. If significant time has passed and he won't stop talking to his ex all the time, or he clearly isn't over her and is interfering with your relationship, despite you doing everything right, then cutting him off is your best move. You're never going to convince him to get over his ex by clinging to him and giving him everything he wants. If a guy won't commit to you and is being wishy-washy with you, you need to send a strong message that you're not someone who will be treated that way. Be upfront about your expectations, and if he isn't willing to meet them, then walk away from the relationship. This works especially well in this situation. This is because the kind of guy who gets hung up on his ex is the kind of guy who wants what he can't have. The fear of losing you will make him realize that he can't take you for granted, and he will correct his behavior and start treating you right. Here's the language you need to use in this situation. I want to be with you, but I deserve to be with someone who feels the same way about me. Breakups are tough, and it seems to me that you have unfinished business with your ex that you need to sort out before you'll be able to love again. No hard feelings. I care about you a lot, and I just want what's best for both of us. Don't leave it open-ended. Don't tell him that you'll be waiting for him to come around or you'll be waiting forever. You need him to know that you're not angry at him, but that you can't be together because of the way he's acting. This is also to send the message that you have other options and that if he isn't careful, he could lose you. If he really cares about you, this will make him realize the error of his ways and fight for you. There you go. These are the steps you need to take to get a guy to forget about his ex and stay focused on moving things forward with you. I want to hear your stories now. Have you ever dated a guy who was hung up on his ex? Was that a deal breaker or were you able to work through it? Let me know in the comments below and I'll talk to you again soon.